Hey, what's going on, folks? I'm going to do something a little different. I was just going to post my typical character breakdown for my Season 7 prediction, but I have some pretty big news today. I actually read this online last night, but I was only able to record and post this today. But if this stuff is true, this is the biggest spoiler to date. The biggest spoiler I have ever seen. And in these articles, it contains potential spoilers for Season 7 Game of Thrones. So if you guys do not want to hear this, I suggest you click off right now. But in this spoiler article, it breaks down exactly what's going to happen next season in Season 7, episode per episode. Pretty much the entire plot. This is pretty crazy. I don't know if this is true or not. It's up to you to believe, but I'm going to read everything to you. Exactly what it says, episode 1 to episode 7, a full breakdown. And I got this off of heatstreet.com, HEATST.com. It was originally posted on Reddit, but the guy that posted it deleted his account immediately, so I do not want to read you his name. He probably wants to stay anonymous. But the Reddit thread that he posted this on is apparently pretty reputable for Game of Thrones spoilers. It says that last year that this Reddit thread was pretty much 100% accurate with its spoilers. But anyways, let's get into it. I'm going to read to you everything that's going to happen next year, basically, if this is true. Okay. Episode 1. This is pretty exciting. It says, Episode 1, the White Walkers are marching south on the wall. Bran crosses the wall back into Westeros and meets with Dolorous Head, the new Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. In parentheses, it says, Bran was seen filming at Castle Black set. So that just makes it seem a little more true. Sansa and Jon have an argument about what to do with the Northern Houses who betrayed them by fighting with the Boltons. Sansa and Lyanna Mormont want to give their lands to loyal supporters, but Jon refuses to hold the Karstark and Umber children responsible. Now that's kind of interesting as well, because we've seen two new kids on set. The little boy and the redheaded girl that kind of looks like Sansa. Those could be the Karstark and Umber children. But anyways, Jon does it his way and basically tells the others to deal with it because he's not going to rule the North the way it's always been. Then it says in parentheses, Jon, Sansa, and Lyanna have been spotted on Winterfell's set. At the end of the episode, Daenerys and company arrive at Dragonstone. Stannis' old seat in an island near King's Landing. She goes into the old war room with the table map of Westeros and turns to Tyrion and says, "Shall we begin?" And it says in parentheses, Team Dany has been filming in Spain, a widely believed set for Dragonstone. Episode 2. Jon gets a raven from Daenerys telling all the Northern Lords to meet her on Dragonstone to parley. Jon and Davos decide to go to ask for some of the dragonglass stockpiled on Dragonstone. Sansa is left in charge of Winterfell and leaves Ghost behind too. Episode 3. Jon and Davos arrive on Dragonstone and meet Tyrion on the beach. And it says in parentheses, Jon, Davos, Tyrion, and Missandei have all been filming together in Spain, widely believed to be the set of Dragonstone. Tyrion brings them to meet Daenerys. Dany demands Jon to bend the knee, which he refuses. Jon instead tells her about the White Walker threat, but she doesn't believe him. Davos tries to tell her about Jon's resurrection, but Jon dismisses it. Tyrion steps in to say Jon's a good guy and he definitely is not insane. Dany respects Jon immediately, although Jon doesn't return the sentiment. Bran arrives at Winterfell and Meera returns home to the Neck. Okay, episode 4. Arya arrives at Winterfell. In parentheses it says, Arya has been spotted on set with other Team Starks. That's all it says for episode 4. Probably going to be a terrible episode. Okay, episode 5. Sam leaves Old Town for Winterfell with Gilly and a baby. Jorah reunites with Dany at Dragonstone after, apparently, healing his grayscale in Old Town at some point earlier in the season. Jon receives a raven letting him know that Bran and Arya are at Winterfell. Jaime and Bronn meet with Tyrion and Davos. Tyrion tries to persuade Jaime to get Cersei to surrender to Dany. Jaime ignores it. Jon and company, who apparently met up with Gendry and the Brotherhood Without Banners earlier in the season, sail towards Eastwatch by the Sea. the easternmost Night's Watch castle. They are looking to capture a white, in order to prove to the other lords of Westeros and Dany they exist and to gain support in fighting them. Jon leads a small force which includes Beric Dondarrion, Thoros of Myr, Tormund, Jorah, and Gendry. That's a pretty good team. The team is attacked by the Knight's army, including a zombie polar bear, which kills Thoros. Man, I hope that does happen. That sounds pretty cool, a zombie polar bear. They get surrounded on a frozen lake, nearly about to be defeated, when Dany arrives with her dragons. She flies most of the team back to safety, but leaves Jon behind. I'm not sure why she would do that. Apparently, the Night's King is able to kill her dragon Viserion and resurrect it as his own zombie dragon mount. Now that sounds insane. Hopefully that does happen. Jon is almost killed by the encroaching hordes, but then Benjen swoops in to save him. He sends the wounded Jon off on his horse before Benjen is swarmed and presumably killed by the Whites. At some point in the episode, Jon promises to Dany to lay down his title as King of the North if Dany helps them against the White Walkers. Episode 7. Sansa sentenced Littlefinger to death, which Arya carries out. Sometime earlier in the season, Littlefinger attempted to pit Arya and Sansa against each other by using an old letter Sansa wrote under duress by the Lannisters to Robb Stark. Bran helped Sansa see through Littlefinger's ploy. Cersei wakes up in a bed soaked with blood, presumably from a miscarriage. At some point earlier in the season, there was a plot thread where Cersei finds out she is pregnant with Jaime's child. Sam and Bran somehow figure out Jon's parentage, that he is the son of Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen. His real name is Aegon, and he was legitimized at birth, not a bastard. Then it says, Jon and Dany have sex on a boat headed north. That sounds a little ridiculous, if you ask me. The wall falls at the end of the episode. The Night's King attacks the wall with the zombie Viserion and is able to knock it down. Okay, what I'm about to read to you next is some other major events that happened during Season 7, but they're just not in order. So just take it however you want. Dorne and Highgarden get sacked by the Lannisters earlier in the season. Jaime confronts Olenna Tyrell at Highgarden. She tells Jaime everything about how she and Littlefinger poisoned Joffrey. Jaime allows her to drink poison and kill herself before being captured. Euron Greyjoy attacks Dorne as well, killing 2 sand snakes and capturing Ellaria. Euron's fleet destroys Yara Greyjoy's and takes her prisoner. Theon escapes by jumping overboard and is rescued by other Ironborn. Dany torches a few Westerosi lords with her dragons, which include Sam Tarly's father and brother. Damn. Tyrion dissuades Dany from attacking King's Landing directly with dragons for fear of killing lots of civilians. Jorah and Sam meet in Old Town and find a cure for grayscale. Arya encounters her old direwolf Nymeria on the way to Winterfell. I hope that happens. Jaime and Bronn and the Lannister army are ambushed, probably mid-season, by Dany/Dothraki/dragons, while marching back from Highgarden. The Lannister army is defeated and Jaime is almost killed by dragons, only to be saved by Bronn. Then it says, Dragon Pit Scene. Later in the season, there will be a scene at a dragon pit with almost the entire cast of the show. There will be a parlay between Cersei and Dany, allowing them all to meet at said dragon pit. Jon brings the White Walker he captured in order to show all the lords of the danger facing Westeros. Cersei orders the Mountain to kill the White, which he cannot, even after cutting it to bits. Jon explains only Dragonglass can kill these zombies. Cersei responds that she will certainly send help to Jon, but later in private she tells Jaime she was lying. She explains she welcomes the coming of the zombie horde so they can take out her enemies. Jaime is disgusted by this and leaves her to ride north. Okay, folks, now that's everything that has been posted so far. Apparently, if this is true, that's the entire plot for Season 7. And I'm just going to leave it here. I'll let you guys digest that and take all that in. Comment below, tell me what you think. And tomorrow, instead of me posting a video on a separate character, I'm actually going to break all this down and tell you what I think's actually true and what sounds kind of ridiculous. But until then, stay tuned. I appreciate you for listening, and thanks today. But if this stuff is true, this is the biggest spoiler to date. The biggest spoiler I have ever seen. And in these articles, it contains potential spoilers for Season 7 Game of Thrones. So if you guys do not want to hear this, I suggest you click off right now. But in this spoiler, I got this off of heatstreet.com, HEATST.com. It was originally posted on Reddit, but the guy that posted it deleted his account immediately, so I do not want to read you his name. He probably wants to stay anonymous. But the Reddit thread that he posted this on is apparently pretty reputable for... Hey, what's going on, folks? Today I'm going to do something a little different. I was just going to post my typical character breakdown for my Season 7 prediction, but I have some pretty big news today. I actually read this online last night, but I was only able to record and post this Game of Thrones spoilers. It says that last year that this Reddit thread was pretty much 100% accurate with its spoilers. But anyways, let's get into it. I'm going to read to you everything that's going to happen next year, basically, if this is true. Okay, Episode 1. This is in a spoiler article. It breaks down exactly what's going to happen next season, in Season 7, episode per episode. Like, pretty much the entire plot. This is pretty crazy. I don't know if this is true or not. It's up to you to believe, but I'm going to read everything to you. Exactly what it says, Episode 1 to Episode 7, a full breakdown.